Bonjour Rebecca Tong.
Bonjour.
À 35 ans, vous êtes chef d'orchestre. Vous avez remporté en septembre 2020 un grand concours important, le concours Maestra pour femmes chefs d'orchestre. Et vous travaillez aussi dans un orchestre à Jakarta. Comment êtes-vous devenue chef d'orchestre?
So first of all, I'll answer the first question of the portion is what La Maestra represent. Mm-hmm. It represents an opportunity and a great opportunities for women conductors these days. As you can see from a lot of the percentage, a lot of the professions is based on male conductors. There are a lot of women conductors, but not as equal as male. And the La Maestra gave a really nice opportunity, a platform, you can say, for the female conductors to really move forward. And I'm really hoping that in 10 years or less, we won't be able to talk about male or female, but we only talk about dirigent, because that's what we're aiming for.
Tout simplement, comment êtes-vous devenu chef d'orchestre? Je crois savoir que vous êtes venu du violon. You came from the violin.
I used to study the violin, but then I'm a people person. I love working with people, so I find it really hard for myself to be in one room for hours a day for practicing. And I found such joy, such happiness to just be amongst my musician peers and work with them in front of the orchestra.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca Tong, est-ce que les femmes chefs d'orchestre de la précédente génération, vous êtes de la jeune génération, je pense par exemple à Marine Alsop, je pense à Nathalie Stutzmann, je pense à Laurence Equilbé, je pense à Claire Gibault, vous ont aidé à vous dire c'est possible pour moi aussi, en tant que femme, de devenir chef d'orchestre?
It's very interesting because when I first started to have the passion to become a conductor, I wasn't even thinking about male or female, as a female conductor, what are the obstacles? All I was thinking about was I just want to be a conductor. But then you look at this amazing predecessors, Nathalie Stutzmann and Marin Alsop and all of these female conductors that brings and open the pathways for our younger generations like me and the next generations. So I see them as my mentors, and I'm really grateful that they opened the ways, the pathways already since like 30, 40 years ago. So.
Mm-hmm. Rebecca, vous venez d'Indonésie, vous travaillez à Jakarta. Que représente la musique classique dans votre pays?
So it's interesting that because classical music is actually a Western part in the world, and in Indonesia, some people are until now still unfamiliar with the classical music. But there's a big commodity of willingness to know and the hunger of knowledge in Indonesia, and it's been very great because every concert you do, you'll never know what people think about the music. For example, I did a Berlioz Symphonie Fantastique 3 years ago. It was the premiere in Jakarta. So for them, it's something completely new, even though the piece was written in 1830. And it's interesting to see their reaction of hearing the music as if Berlioz was just wrote it a week ago or something. So it's very interesting. The classical music represents a lot of collaboration between the Eastern and the Western culture.
Et pour ce qui est de la musique contemporaine, est-ce qu'elle représente un pilier de votre répertoire de chef?
Becoming more and more, yes, definitely. But every time I look at the contemporary music, you remember that every composer wrote new music, even Beethoven during his days. And as a young conductor, I always think about myself as you learn from the past, you look into the future, and you live at the moment.
Rebecca, dans ce concert, nous avons la chance d'avoir avec nous deux compositeurs, qu'on va entendre d'ailleurs, qui seront à votre place. Et je me dis, c'est pas banal pour un chef d'orchestre d'avoir le regard d'un compositeur sur sa pièce qu'il a écrite. Est-ce que ce n'est pas difficile pour le chef d'orchestre d'avoir ce regard extérieur qui peut éventuellement influencer sur sa direction? Est-ce que vous vous laissez influencer?
And I'm grateful that both Sivan and Julien are in the rehearsal for this concert. And we've been talking back and forth in the email. So the beauty about performing a new piece or a contemporary works is you get to have a discussion with the living composers. Of course, like, you know, in the past you can't, I can't ask Beethoven, what do you mean by this
He's
passage?
Dead.
Right.
Il est mort.
Yeah, exactly. But it's interesting that as a conductor, we need to understand that our job is to interpret the best of the composer's intention. So if the composer said, I actually want this differently here, then we have a good discussion. It's not about who's best. I'm better, you're better. Music will never come along really well if that's the case. But in this case, because the composer's here, our job is to interpret the composer's intention. And it has been a wonderful week, I must say, with Sivan and Julien, and it's great to have them here.
Rebecca, que diriez-vous au public, y compris mélomane, qui souvent est un tout petit peu frileux par rapport à la musique contemporaine et qui dit « j'y comprends rien, c'est pas pour moi ». Que leur diriez-vous?
I won't say don't be cautious about it. Enjoy and think about the contemporary music as something that life is celebration of life. Because every composer writes new music, like I said. Even during Rite of Spring, le Sacre du Pétan, there's a lot of riots, you know. But at the end, we can see that the music is so important. It's a breakthrough for the generations to come. So when we listen to contemporary music, it's always listen to the different colors, different sound that the composer wants you to think about. And I always find it helpful when I listen to music, you picture something and everybody have different paintings in their mind and you experience emotionally different, and that's the best way you can think about.
Merci Rebecca, j'ai retenu votre leçon. Autrement dit, laissez-vous faire. Merci.
Merci. Thank you.